Alright, so I may have found a solution. It's going to be a little bit weird looking, but the problem I have is every Space Marine holds their gun in their left arm. So all the left arms are all like a fist. So there's nothing really for me to work with, except the only other thing is that I found there is a guy with a reloading pose, and there's this guy right here. He's holding a magazine in his hand, and this magazine looks very similar to the magazine on the alien arm. So if you cut out the magazine and glue this magazine into place with the hand attached, that might actually work. Like the sergeant actually used his arm to grab the alien from underneath the barrel to push it out of the way, to push it up, and then he used his chainsaw to hack off both hands from the other side. That could work, maybe. That could also maybe just like push this up and you'd have a little bit of space to work it, maybe, I don't know. It's going to be a bit weird, but essentially it's going to be got the gun arm like this, like that. I don't know, man. It might be a little bit weird looking. I'm not entirely sure about this anymore. Would be better if this was off like this a little bit, like it hung upside down, you know? But there's no way to really make that work, so that is going to be a problem. Of course, this way, you know, the hand will be hanging down, we could hold on to it like that. But, again, the hand doesn't fit the arm. That's going to be an issue. And this... Actually, this is dried up now, so this is going to work out quite nicely. We can put this into place. You can see he's going to be holding it like that. And it looks quite cool. But this is an issue. Holding it up like that. I don't know, man. Maybe we should get rid of part of the arm as well. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, since we have two arms that are reloading, it doesn't matter if I get rid of one of them. If I mess this up, nothing of too much value is going to be lost. So, cut out the part that I want. And then of course we only need the hand with the magazine. So again, we're going to be putting a cut in here somewhere. Leave a bit of the wrist for now, or maybe even cut it off at the elbow first. And cut it down to the wrist. And we have the wrist guard over here, so that's fine. We just need to cut this down a little bit more until all that is left is the hand. Now, again, small bits. Don't do too much at once. Now, once that is done, of course, go back to the knife. Smooth this out a bit. Right. So, this magazine would have to go into place of that one. Or maybe you can cut off this part. Again, this is going to look a little bit weird, so we should probably just definitely keep this thing into place. So I think what we need to do here is we need to cut off part of the magazine, the top or the bottom part, and then we are going to cut off the top of this magazine, and then it should fit together nicely, I hope. Again, I'm not really sure, I've never done this before, this is all an experiment, but basically this little ridge line of the magazine should go off. I'm trembling a little bit because I'm nervous. Alright, that's a pretty clean cut. Pretty happy with that. Again, grab the knife. Clean up the surface a little bit. So that you can glue the other surface to it neatly. It's very important, otherwise it's not going to glue together the way it should. And again, mold lines, if you see them, get rid of them. And this is a part where I cut it from the sprue. That is something I should definitely get rid of. Same thing on this part of the gun right there. Little things like that are all things we need to take into account. Now, we should get rid of a large part of the magazine. Right, the magazine is too long. This would, and also it has the wrong shape. It's curving the wrong way. So we need to get rid of this entire curve till maybe just above the fingers there. So now you have the bottom of the magazine left in the grip. Not sure if you can see it. And again, I don't know how other people record this. Please let me know in the comments below so I can improve at this, because I'd like to do some more. Because I like Warhammer, I like this hobby. I want to put out some quality content for it if I can, but I'm not sure if I can. Anyway, these parts are now glued together, so that fits. What we need to do then is, of course, get some glue. And hopefully it is not going to be stuck already. So I need, no, okay, there we have some glue. Okay, cool. Now then, let's have a look. This guy is going to hold his hand like this. And that fits together nicely, I have to say. It doesn't look bad at all. Now, this sticks. And this should fit together like so. It's going to look a little bit weird still. We might not even have space to make this work, but we're going to glue this together for now. There we go. Leave this in place a little bit to dry. Maybe we should even just turn it the other way around, actually, yeah. That's the way. I had it the wrong way around. Now we should have a lot more space left. So if you try to fit this on there, yeah. I don't know. Still looks weird to me. Little bit weird. It's also a very precarious fit, I have to say. This is going to fit on like so. Yeah, it's a bit iffy. It is a little bit iffy. I don't know, man. I think what is best now is we should just glue this on. And this may be a mistake, but I think right now, without the benefit of hindsight, this might be the best possible option for me right now. Just so I can fit the other thing. Oh, that's a lot of glue. It's too much. But I don't want to get rid of it with my hand because, as I said earlier, I am allergic to this shit. And it doesn't end well for me. Alright, so definitely need to keep this into place for a little while. But I like that this doesn't quite fit snugly against the model. you can paint underneath it, but it also gives it a sense of action. Like he just swung it back, like it's still in motion, right? That's really cool. Of course, we're going to have the backpack on the back there. I hope it's going to still fit, but I'm pretty sure it will. Now I need to hold this into place, and if we now have a look at the way this could potentially fit. And it looks weird. God damn it. Also, I should put it in the correct position, of course. I think that looks best right now. Now, of course, this gun arm, or this arm, is going to be on that side. So this looks quite well. I should probably glue both of these on right now, just so I know what I have to work with, just to make sure that I have the space that I need to do whatever I need to do to make this model work. It's going to be a little bit of extra work, or more work than I thought it was going to take, but oh well, it's part of the hobby. I enjoy the process, I enjoy trying to make it work, and if I can make it work, it's going to be a unique, pretty awesome model, I think. Crap, I got it on my finger. I need to wash my hands now. That is not cool. Alright. This should stick into place. I will be right back. Alright, well, it doesn't work quite the way I had hoped, and I need to change my plans a little bit. The gun, just too much. It looks weird when he holds onto the magazine like that. I just don't like it. It doesn't work. So I got the hand again. I got it off the gun. And I was thinking I could maybe hollow out the magazine. And it's going to be a lot of work. But I need to hollow out the magazine from his arm. Or from his hand. And I was thinking that maybe I could get this power mace into his hand. And this could work out quite well. So I think we're going to cut out this part. And then sadly, I noticed another mistake that I made when I was looking at my model earlier after washing my hands. Turns out, and I'll show you, this hand is on backwards. You can't quite tell, I can see it's becoming blurry. But the thumb is on the outside. And the back of the hand is on the inside. So this sword needs to be replaced. It's really bumming me out because I really like this sword and I kind of planned on using it. But we need to adapt, I guess. Right? So we need to clean up this thing a little bit. Make sure there's no thing sticking out, but this is okay. This is going to be the problem though. We need to get this magazine out of here. And this is tricky. I'm just going to do it very carefully, very softly. Make a little cut here, I guess. And again, never done this before. I might make a huge mistake. So if we cut here, we're going to cut past the finger, from here to there, okay, that could work. Oh man. I have a feeling I'm messing up way too much detail on this model. Yeah, there goes the thumb, I think. No, the thumb is still kind of on there. We can still make this work, but this it's extremely hard to get a grip on the magazine. Not very happy with this. We just need to hollow it out enough so that the melee weapon fits in there. Afterwards, hopefully, it's not going to be as big of a problem. So let me have a look. This is the hand right there. Yeah, alright, so the thumb is partially missing. And again, if you know any tips for me to improve at this, please let me know in the comments below, because I could use the tips. Most definitely. I'm not great at this. Clearly. I thought I had thought of everything. Well, it's not quite true. Alright, so this looks okay for now. Now his hand would be like this. It would be coolest if I could get the weapon into the hand like this. That would be perfect. And I think it kind of fits already, almost, but I need to hollow it out a little bit more. And it is just so hard because it's finicky. I can't quite put enough pressure on there without losing everything. Alright, so put in another little clip. God damn it. So now we have kind of an incision. We still have the fingers. I'm not sure if you can see it. We have the fingers. We have enough room now. I feel comfortable. Need to come in with the knife for a moment. So we have weird looking part right there that we need to get rid of. Alright, that works. Alright, so instead of a gun, he's now going to hold a melee weapon with the arm that he ripped off. And that actually works really well too. It actually almost makes it even cooler. Alright, so this hand is going to come on like this. And it needs to fit nicely. So I need to make sure that this surface is nice and smooth. And let me grab the knife. Slowly but surely we're getting there. This is really the hardest part, getting this hand, and then we're going to have to do something with the chain sword as well. Because I really want to keep that wolf head, but I'm not sure if we can. So, right, put some glue on there. And again, I need to be careful not to spill this onto myself. Now luckily the inside of the hand is going to face the model itself. So with that we should not really face a problem. Now I just need to fit this on there. Like so. We should give that time to dry. We're getting close. He has a sword arm. This hand is now stuck into place. It takes a lot of effort and stuff, but I think we're getting close. His thumb is missing. And I'm not sure what to do about that at the moment. But we should do something about the sword now, next. Because we need to get rid of the arm. Which, this is really bumming me out. We need to make an incision right there. Alright. So that kind of broke off when we put some pressure on there. So that was actually really good because we did not damage the hand. Now we need to look what we can do with the sword arm. So we have the chain sword. I need to get the Space Wolf kit that I have left. And this is not the one I need. Right, so maybe we can get this hand to go onto this sword. That would be really cool. Or maybe the one with the cross section, the cross guard or whatever it's called. That could work too. But I kinda like this better. I don't know. I don't know. Ah, screw it. We're gonna go for it. Let's cut out this hand. I'm losing a lot of parts. But I wasn't really using them anyway, so let's just go for it. Alright, so now that this is done, we need to get the hand off of this thing neatly. So I think we should cut off a part there. And again, I hope you guys can see it. We've got some fingers left, but I want to get to this straight part. So we can maybe put in a little clip right there. Basically, I want a nice straight surface to work with. Maybe we can get rid of those fingers, like so, yeah. Now we can more easily cut a straight part at the wolf head. Yeah, okay, this could work. This could work. We're so close, guys, I can feel it. Alright, so we got the wolf head still, right there. We got a pretty clean cut. Just need to clean it up a little bit more, so that we can glue on the other side of the other hand. Again, this wolf head is already kind of mutilated, so it doesn't really matter at this point what we do underneath it. This needs to be flat and smooth. Alright, now then, we need to get the hand, right, so we can start cutting off this hand right there. This arm needs to go. And again, let's see, we have the shoulder guard, or the wrist guard on this model. So we need to cut this new arm all the way down to the hand. Right, pretty close. Alright. And now we need to get a straight cut. So we can get rid of this part of the sword, I guess. Cut off this part first. I'm not going to use that. Maybe get rid of this little weird piece, because that is going to mess things up when we make this next cut. Alright. A little bit messed up. It's just the weird shapes and things. It's not perfect. What can you do? Right, we just need to make this fit as cleanly as possible. We could actually get rid of the finger guard as well, I think. I think that might be best. I think we need to cut in a little bit more. Little part on the top there that needs to come off. At this point, this video has probably become 2 parts instead of 1 video. It might have become 2 videos, I'm not entirely sure. This is taking a while. Alright. Actually, maybe if this is flat enough. Oh, this fits perfectly. We can actually make this work. Yeah, perfect. So, glue. Give me the glue. Oh man, I'm happy we can salvage this project. Right, got some glue there. Now we need to get the guard to fit. Actually, it needs to be the other way around. That would be a really awkward mistake to make now at this point. Put the hand on backwards on this as well. That would be really, really bad. But at this point, if you look at it like this, you can barely tell that it's been glued on. That is fantastic. Now, this should dry for a while, so we're not going to touch it. We should, however, clean up this part a little bit, because we have some leftover glue from the previous part. You can see where it's kind of melted in. We're getting very close. Right, so this looks pretty clean at this point. Just need to make sure that we have all the bits of old glue, so otherwise it's going to not bond as well. It needs to bond correctly. Otherwise all of this hard work is for nothing. So I need to scrape this off a little bit. There we go. Now meanwhile, hopefully this hand is set. And I think it has. So we're going to leave this to dry a little bit longer, and we should turn our attention to this arm. Right? Nothing much needs to happen with it, but this should look like it's been cut by a chainsword, right? This doesn't need to be this clean, this smooth. So we're going to need to make this ragged looking, like it's really messed up. So we're just going to put some cuts in there, I guess, just randomly. Maybe a bit more than this, I don't know, because this doesn't look very effective quite yet, but it needs to be. This needs to look quite traumatized. Like, this should not be a clean cut. It's been a chainsword attack, damn it. So. Maybe all the way down here. I got all of these parts hanging off. Normally this would look horrible on a model, but in this case it might just be ragged enough. Need to maybe get rid of this part right there. Crap. That undid some of the work we did. But once this is painted, it should look quite cool. Right, this guy should look all kinds of fucked up. Now, some of this is too loose. And this still looks really clean as well, so maybe we should just cut into it like that. And we can of course also use the knife. Right, so all the pieces that are too thin, we should kind of get rid of that. But this looks kind of ragged, kind of horrible. So when we have this hand looking over here like that, that looks really messed up. And this should fit nicely as well now. So if we glue this into his hand, that should actually be okay. You just need to make sure that it doesn't intrude with his face. Right, and I have a face in mind, so we actually might be able to do that part next, because I have an old face that I was going to use for another model, and I never ended up using it. And I think this one could be quite cool. He is screaming, he has wild hair, and it might just fit perfectly if we make him turn a little bit like that, like he's going to kill his next victim straight after this. Right, you can't quite see. I need to really work on my angle here. But I don't know how the other guys do it. So this could work, I think. This head looks pretty cool. Now, I don't know if there are any other heads that I might like to use from the Space Wolf kit. I have a few left. Right, we have a bunch left actually, but I'd like a screaming face that doesn't look too weird. Because some of these have some really awkward haircuts, and I don't like them. Some of them have cool haircuts, but they're not screaming, and I want this guy to be screaming. There's like a He-Man haircut here somewhere. It just doesn't look very good. So I think this is the head that we're going to go for. Because it looks wild, it grabs the attention. I like it quite a bit. So, grab some glue again. And this is a ball head. Some of them have different shapes. But this one works well for the model that we have. Not all the heads fit as well as this one will. Alright, so this is immediately glued up again. So again, the glue at the end has dried. I cannot work with this. I have to do this quite often, and it's annoying. Anyway, there we go. Got some glue coming out again. Like some more. Now, if you're wondering what this brush is doing here, I was using it to mark the boundary of the visible area. So I should have stayed to the right of it. So, let's have a look. This guy needs to look off to his left a little bit, because the sword is going to be here. Oh. Sword arm is going to be right there. This is going to be really cool. Yep, I like where this is going. This model is going to be very dynamic and very unique, I think. Alright, so now that the head is in place, the next thing to do, of course, is to glue on the melee weapon. So we need to grab some glue. Now there's a lot of glue, but I think in this case we need it because it is a very flimsy part. I need to glue that on like so. And we just need to wait a little bit until it dries. And this is going to be a tough model to paint. It's also going to be a really cool model to paint, but oh man. I'm kind of intimidated by it already, because there's going to be a lot of weird angles. Right. Hold it right there. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Oh boy. Alright. So there's still space between the Space Marine's head and the weapon. I should probably go down a little bit more. Yeah, this is going to be cool. I really like this. It's taken a lot of work and a lot of effort, but it's going to work out really nicely. Alright, so let's grab some glue, put that on this sword arm. Come on. We have some glue right there. But it's half dry glue, I think, so that's not going to be very good. There we go. Finally. Now then. Screw this on there. It is going to look super cool when it's all painted up. Trust me. There's going to be blood on the chainsword. There's going to be blood at the end of the arm, so it's going to be immediately clear. There's so much dynamism going on in this model. Like the swinging hair